NBC this morning had a reporter go on and literally give tips on how to deal with inflation. And one of the tips, I can't make this up, one of the tips is, quote, if you don't get a turkey, fewer people might come over, and that would save you more money also. We literally have the mainstream media suggesting that rather than deal with inflation from a monetary and fiscal policy standpoint, rather than report and say the official numbers are over 6% inflation, the unofficial numbers are double digits, and literally Americans are suffering. We have them instead saying, you want to know how to deal with inflation? Don't buy a turkey. Don't have people come over. Don't live your life. You should sacrifice because the people who are making these decisions, they're getting rich, but you sit at home. Don't get a turkey for Thanksgiving. This is peak insanity, peak clown world. How about instead we teach people it's not about spending. You are not going to save your way faster than inflation is going to eat you. You cannot save when there's high inflation. You have to learn to invest. The message is not do not consume as much as you were. No, the message instead is you have to learn to invest. And so to see this on mainstream media, it's not only that it's absurd that they're literally saying the best way to deal with inflation is to not buy a turkey, pretty crazy, but even worse is that it's the wrong advice. Telling people to essentially save, not spend, save more, save more, save more is actually the wrong thing to tell them. That's what your grandparents did. That's what your parents might have told you to do. But in today's society, you have to learn to invest. So, Jojo, I don't think you guys saw this, but I mean, absolutely nuts to see literally on NBC, they said Thanksgiving cost. There's things that you could do like a potluck, or you could split the cost with others, or consider not buying a turkey in order to combat inflation.
Yeah, the nutritional advice of using soybeans was the one that put it over the top for me. I don't think that central banks or the government or associated agencies should be giving out nutritional advice to help save you money when what they're doing in response is just printing a bunch of money and causing these prices of the goods that you would normally eat to increase and you not be able to afford them outside of wage growth. So it's kind of ridiculous. The narrative has changed, and a lot of people they're honestly squirming to try to find like different ways to pitch it or different segments around it or whatever it is. But it's pretty embarrassing. The Economist we talked about it the other day had a tweet or a headline that said, no one saw it coming. No one saw inflation coming. And literally everyone on the internet was like, what are you talking about? Like, not only do you call yourself the Economist, but you guys, have you been on the internet for the last year and a half? Have you been on the internet for 2 years? Like, everyone has been talking about this for a year and a half, that this was going to be coming after the unprecedented stimulus and money printing that you guys did over the last year and a half. And I think it's kind of embarrassing that now they're trying to give out nutritional advice off the back of that. So, and I don't think we're anywhere close to the end of this stuff. It's going to continue.
Price of a turkey, if you go buy it, up 21% year over year. It is more expensive. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy a turkey. This is absolutely ridiculous. The more and more that I read what mainstream media is putting out to the American people, it's embarrassing, to be frank. This is exactly why we made this show, because people need to hear the absolute truth about what's going on and not be told, hey, instead of buying a turkey, go use soybeans or go do something else. Don't buy a turkey, less people will come over. That's just not the right message to send people.